Bill here at Oak Hill Fish Camp. If you're a retired angler and there's one fish still on your bucket list, I'd bet money it's a tarpon, the Silver King. There's nothing else in Florida inshore fishing that comes close to the experience of hooking a 100-pound fish that jumps 6 feet out of the water and tries to throw your lure back in your face. And the good news is you don't have to be a 25-year-old and bench pressing 250 pounds to do it. You just need the right plan, the right gear, and the right respect for that fish. And here around the Mosquito Lagoon and Ponce Inlet, adult tarpon start showing up in late spring and peak through the summer months. These are big fish, 80 to 150 pounds, filtering in from the Atlantic Ocean. But what a lot of people don't know is that we also have juvenile tarpon in the 5 to 40 pound range that hang around the deeper canals, ditches, and dock lights in the area year-round. Those juveniles are an incredible way to experience tarpon fishing without the physical punishment of a 2-hour fight on a heavy tackle. You can catch them on the same inshore spinning gear you'd use for a big redfish. For adult tarpon, you need to set up your gear. A 5,000 to 6,000 size reel with at least 20 pounds of max drag, spooled with 30-pound braid. Your leader setup is critical. I use about an 80-pound fluorocarbon bite leader because tarpon have rough sandpaper-like mouth that will shred light line in seconds. The rod should be a 7-foot medium heavy with a moderate action. That flex in the tip is what absorbs the shock when the fish jumps, and the tarpon jump a lot, so you're gonna need it. Now, the fight itself, this is where a lot of the older anglers worry about, and I get it, but here's the truth. Fighting a tarpon smart is more important than fighting a tarpon hard. Keep your rod tip low. Use short pumps instead of trying to horse the fish in with a big sweep and lift. Let the boat do the work. Your captain should be positioned in the hull to keep the angle favorable so you're not in a tug-of-war match with that fish. And when the fish jumps, drop your rod tip and bow towards the fish. That's called bowing to the king, and it puts slack in the line so the fish can't use its weight against the hook on the way down. It's technique, not brute strength.
And now let's talk about what happens when you get that fish to the boat, because this is where some major rules matter. Florida law is extremely clear that any tarpon over 40 inches must remain in the water. You cannot lift it onto the boat. You cannot drag it onto the beach for a photo, with the only exception being if you're pursuing a state or world record and you have purchased a tarpon tag from the FWC before you started fishing. For everyone else, and that's 99% of anglers, your trophy photo is taken at the waterline with the fish supported in the water. There's a good reason for this. Tarpon are powerful, but they're physiologically fragile after a long fight. Lifting a 100-pound fish out of the water compresses their organs and can cause some fatal damage, even if the fish swims away looking fine. The FWC also advises against putting your fingers in the gill plate. Support the fish under the belly and at the lower jaw. Quick photo, keep it in the water, and let it recover. When that fish kicks out of your hand and explodes back into the current, that's the real trophy moment.
For our retired guest, I'd like to add a few practical tips. If you're chartering for tarpon, talk to your captain beforehand about pacing. A good captain will let you take breaks between hookups. Bring an anti-fatigue mat to stand on if the deck is hard. And, of course, there's no shame in fighting a fish from a seated position. I've seen guys land monsters from a fighting chair on a center console. The fish doesn't care if you're sitting or standing. Also, plan your day around the Florida heat. Tarpon fishing often means early mornings or late afternoons into the evening. Come back to your cabin here at camp for the midday rest. We've got air conditioning, we've got your kitchen stocked with whatever you've brought, and you can recharge before the evening bite. That's the beauty of staying right on this amazing water. Your commute is about 30 seconds from the dock to your front door.
Tarpon fishing is one of those experiences that connects you to something ancient. These fish have been in Florida's waters for millions of years. They predate the dinosaurs. When you hook one and you feel that power, you're holding on to a living fossil. And when you release it properly, you're making sure the next generation of anglers gets to feel that very same thing. Head over to oakhillfishcamp.com to book your waterfront cabin. Check availability or just give me a call or text at 386-426-7191. We would love to have you out here.
And until next time, tight lines, and I'll see you on the water.